Hello, it's Gareth here. I hope you are well. This video I've put together you're going to watch next is an account of my experience following something called a 3-day water fast. If it's something you've been searching for online and you found this video and you want to know exactly how to do it, that video really isn't that. This is more about my experience of doing a water fast. So there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet about how to do a water fast and the protocols to follow. But what I'm going to share with you in the upcoming minutes is my experience of going through that water fast, a few little entries I've made which will show you my experience of it from a kind of a proper experiential perspective rather than just something you've read. So I hope you find value in it, and if you do, give this video a like and yeah, enjoy. So it's Friday the 18th of August 2023 and it's 11 minutes past 9 in the morning as I'm recording this. And this is the first entry into this, I suppose you call it a vlog if you like, of my documenting something I'm doing for the next 3 days, which is I'm doing a water fast. I've been looking into this for a few days now, and it's something that's been on my mind for a while. I wanted to try to see whether I could just kind of really kind of reset my system and detox in a way that was beneficial. And having looked at a lot of things, different things you could eat, different sort of protocols you could follow, I actually kind of fell on water fasting because I like the simplicity of it, you know, just not doing anything but drinking water for 3 days. I've done a lot of research on this recently, and there's a lot of health benefits which I'm interested to see whether the benefits that people talk about I find. And also there seems to me to be a kind of a challenge to this that's mental as well, which is what I wanted at the moment, almost kind of not just to reset my body but reset my mind, create some more resilience in there. So I actually had my last meal last night at 8:30 in the evening, on my last bit of food. So I've currently been going 12 hours, 42 minutes and 26 seconds since I last had my meal, and I feel good. I woke up this morning feeling rested, but I didn't sleep a lot last night. Last night I went to bed around about 9:15, woke up this morning about 1:30, so I've had very little sleep. I'm aware that might hit me later on in the day. And at the moment I feel quite pumped and up for this, so I'm going to make some small little videos as we go through the next 3 days and just record snippets of how I'm feeling at different points of the day, and then hopefully at the end of the 3 days I'll have a bit of a kind of montage to put together which will give anybody watching this or anybody I share it with the chance to see my experience of a water fast, what worked for me, what didn't, how I found it, and so on. So like I said, we are 12 hours and 43 minutes in, so feeling good. I'm going to get into a day's work now, and I'm aware I've got lack of food today to deal with and also lack of sleep, so we'll see what time that kicks in later on today, if it kicks in at all. So I'll see you soon. Okay, so it's day 2 of the water fast. I've got it on here. I've been going now 35 hours and 50 minutes, just come up to 35 hours. We're almost at the halfway point. Just want to give a kind of a couple of thoughts on yesterday. The one thing I realised as the day went on is when it got to sort of 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I did start to feel very hungry. I could feel the hunger pangs. And what was really interesting for me was how I became quite, not obsessed with food, but it was on my mind a lot, thinking, oh, you know, food this, food that. And I found myself doing a couple of really silly things, like I would go up to the kitchen and I'd go into the fridge, you know, on the premise of getting some water, which I've been drinking plenty of. But then you start looking at food and thinking, oh, that yoghurt in there. And it's amazing how things in the fridge, which normally I wouldn't even give a second thought to, you know, I started thinking, oh, they look tasty, you know. So I did notice yesterday, certainly 2 to 3 o'clock, I was getting to a stage where I was starting to feel hungry, and it was actually a bit of a relief last night to go to bed, because I did, as I went to bed, I was told, there was a little point yesterday when I thought maybe, just maybe, you know, this is a bad idea, I shouldn't be doing it. But I thought if I can get to bed, you know, and if I went to bed relatively early, so I went to bed about 7 o'clock last night and read for an hour or so in bed before I went to sleep at 8. So by the time my 24 hours had come round, I was starting to sleep. And I think one of the things, I didn't really do it purposefully this way, it's just how it happened. I think starting the fast after dinner on the Thursday meant that, you know, as the end of the first day into the second day, you know, the first 8 hours of the second day, I was sleeping. So I woke up this morning, I have to say, despite the fact I went to bed hungry last night, not ravenous, but I could have eaten something. I woke up this morning with actually no desire for food at all. I have no hunger whatsoever. And I know it's only early, I'm recording this, and it's 20 past 7 in the morning, so I've been up since about 3 this morning. So I got up, I went to the gym. I thought I just wanted to test how I felt at the gym. I actually felt quite good. I certainly could lift as much weight as I was lifting the day before, the couple of days before I started the fast, so I don't think it's affected that too much. But the one thing I did find was I was very warm going to the gym. Now, I don't know whether it's because I put a coat on, because I thought it's dark and it's a bit rainy, whether that caused it, but I felt myself sweating. And even at the gym, when I'd kind of got me, you know, my jumper off, and not my jumper, you know, doing a jumper, but I got my training top off, and I'd just got a t-shirt on, and my coat had been taken off. I was sweating through most of the workout before I'd even started. And then coming home, I thought, I feel a bit warm. So I don't know what that is. Something there. I've just done my first experience of water with salt in. One thing people say you should do is put some salt in. It helps with electrolytes. So I put some salt into a glass of water, a little bit of salt, and just a couple of drops, and I mean a couple of drops, and just literally a couple of drops of lemon juice. My mindset around that is, according to what I've read, you're okay to have a bit of lemon juice. And I thought I'd just take the taste of the salt off. So I've just had that now, so I want to see how that works. And the other thing I noticed this morning when I woke up was just a slight headache. I've kind of got it now. It's kind of here. Nothing that I would class as debilitating. And if I wasn't doing this fast, I'd think nothing of it. I'd just think, maybe I'm just a bit dehydrated. So that's what it might be. So I'm on to my second litre of water for the day. I think I had about 3 litres yesterday, maybe 3.5 actually. And today I'm going to aim for 4 litres today. So that's, like it's 7:30 now, I want that sort of drunk before sort of mid-morning. So far, 36 hours in, I feel good. Starting to feel very clear with me thinking. This morning I woke up very optimistic and sort of a lot of things I want to do today. I want to do some reading today. So there was things I wanted to do today which were kind of more work related. I'm thinking, I just want to do some reading. I want to do some reading, maybe a bit of journaling. So I'm starting to think the clarity of me thoughts, not my speech obviously, but the clarity of my thoughts seems to be just changing a little bit. I just feel quite switched on this morning. And like I said, the big surprise for me recording this one on 36 hours, or just shy of 36 hours, halfway point, is how I'm just not hungry today. So by now I should absolutely be in ketosis. Any food in my system has been used for energy, so now my body is using itself for energy, so fat stores and old cells. And that's the thing that interests me about this is, last night I could have quit it and said I've done 24 hours, big of me. But I actually wanted to do something different. I wanted to really push on. So I had to push a bit last night, go to bed early. But today I feel motivated. I feel very well this morning. I feel very lean. I lost 3 pounds yesterday. So yeah, 3 pounds. And that's quite significant. But I know a lot of that's water weight. This isn't because I've no carbs in my system. So a lot of that's water weight. That isn't fat you've lost. Not that I have a great deal of fat to lose. But this next process, these next sort of 12 to 14 hours will be interesting, because this is the point when really now your body is using itself for fuel, and what it will use first is the cells it doesn't need, the old cells. It will break down junk in your system, and that's the bit I'm looking forward to how I feel in another few hours time. So far feeling pretty good, in fact feeling very good. It wasn't difficult to drink the water yesterday. Also, I've got to say, I thought I'd be going to the toilet more often. I probably went about 8 times yesterday for a wee, but that's not that unusual really, I suppose. So because I do drink plenty of water, so that didn't affect it too much. But it's a little headache. We'll see how that goes over the day. And what I didn't do yesterday was I didn't do another video before I went to bed, and I'll probably do that later on today. So far 36 hours in, almost feeling good, sticking with it, and I'll be back to report further as the day progresses. So this is my third check-in. It's day 2, and we're up to 46 hours, 23 minutes and 24 seconds. Today it was strange. This morning I woke up and I felt really good, and I haven't had any hunger even today, which I was surprised about. I thought I'd feel hungrier today than yesterday, but I don't. I actually feel quite good. That said, about lunchtime I started thinking about my food post the fast. I started thinking about creating rice. Basically, I'm going to start eating a lot more rice as a carbohydrate source, as I want to clean my food up, and it's a good carbohydrate for me. So I started cooking some rice in the microwave. I learned how to do the microwave to simplify the task. So the fact I'm cooking rice, and I've got to say, you know, the smell of the rice just was so appetising. I've never cooked rice before and thought, ooh, tasty rice just by itself, nothing else, that'd be lovely. But today I did get that. So I kind of bounced that off, you know, that kind of feeling. And then a friend of mine, John came over, and it was good to see John. And he came over about lunchtime, so I offered to feed him basically. And he knows I'm on this water fast, but he said, "Oh no, you know, if you're not eating, I'm not bothered." And I says, "No, you must actually have something to eat." So I cooked him a frozen. I've got some curry I'd cooked in the freezer, and I put that on for him. And sort of the combination of the rice and smelling the curry, it did make me feel a little bit peckish, I have to say. And he's not been gone long actually, and I'm tired now. I do feel tired this afternoon now. Now I always find it somewhat tiring when I've got people around, but I feel tired. So when he went, I thought I can go to bed now, and I think that's what I'm going to do. It's only 7 o'clock, so 8:30 is when my 24 hours becomes 48 hours. So I've done 48 hours by then, and I'm thinking if I get to bed, go to sleep, wake up tomorrow morning, that's like done, you know. I've only got 12 hours to go basically once I wake up tomorrow morning. So interesting today. The headache that I thought I had this morning didn't really get any worse. It was a really sort of very light headache for a couple of hours that went away. I drank plenty of water again today. And like I said, I didn't feel hungry until I started smelling the food. And even when I smelled the food, I wasn't kind of, you know, completely ravenous, but I could have eaten something. So far, the only thing I'm noticing as far as any difference in my body's concerned is I'm starting to notice I had some pains in my knees this afternoon. I don't know why that is. It could be just coincidence, or is it to do with the fast? I'm not sure. But I have to say, I'm starting to look forward now to my meal in 24 hours time. And whereas probably before this fast I'd have been thinking about something really tasty to eat, you know, what I really fancy, and the truth now is I fancy anything. So, you know, I've been eyeing up radishes in the fridge, thinking, oh, that radish looks tasty. So it's been an interesting day, but I've got through it. I'm going to go up to bed now, do some reading and writing, and the day's been a nice day. It was nice to have John around. I think that took a bit of a distraction off me thinking about food. So it was nice to have him around, feeling good. 48 hours is approaching, so I'm really pleased with that, because I did think yesterday afternoon, oh, it's too much, but now I've got to 48 hours, like, you know, we're 2/3 of the way in, and then I've only got another 24 hours to do. So feeling good. Gonna have some more water, early night, good sleep, and I'll check in tomorrow morning how I feel when I wake up. So there you go, checking 3 done. Okay, so hang on a minute. Was better. Okay, so we're into, this is my next check-in, so it's day 3, it's the morning of day 3. I was asleep last night for about 8:30. This morning I woke up at around about 2:30, and I felt really rested, I have to say, and I kept thinking, you know, is there enough sleep? Sort of, having looked at it, I've had 5 hours sleep basically. I log it on my Garmin. I've started wearing my Garmin to bed, so it gives me how much sleep I've had. So I had about 5 hours sleep, and I feel refreshed. I feel really fresh this morning. I woke up feeling really, really kind of awake, and also surprisingly energised, considering the fact now it's almost 57 hours. It was 57 hours in 4 minutes since I last ate. And I did wake up this morning with no headache whatsoever. Yesterday I had a bit of a headache. One thing I did notice this morning again was there was certain achiness in some joints, especially my knees, a little bit of achiness on waking, but that soon went when I got out, because I went to the gym this morning. Again, I wanted to keep going. And I suppose this morning, because it's kind of the final day of the fast, I wanted to kind of do some more cardio work. So I did some weights with a bit of cardio. The idea behind that is basic. I'm thinking, well, if my body's now being fueled on bad cells, if I do more work, it needs more fuel, it's going to burn more bad cells. So that's my theory. But the one thing this morning which was quite obvious when I woke up is I didn't have any hunger pangs whatsoever. And right now I've worked out, and not when I come back from the gym I'm hungry, but I've got no hunger pangs at all. Did you wake up dry this morning and with quite a furry tongue? I looked at my tongue in a minute, it's got quite a funny colour. So I'm guessing that's some kind of detoxification going on. But yeah, the start of the final kind of push really, you know, I'm realising in, you know, it's 8 o'clock tonight, so sort of, you know, 13 hours or 15 hours from now, I'll be able to eat. But the lack of hunger is quite surprising, and almost it don't feel right. It feels like I should be hungry now, you know, 57 hours without food, just water. I should be hungry by now, and I'm just not. And Also this morning I've got a great deal of clarity. I felt really clear thinking yesterday. This morning feels even clearer, which is really nice. I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can do with that today. And the other thing I've noticed, and this could be just something that's maybe I'm just reading more into this than I should do. But the one thing I've been having to do recently is wear glasses when I'm reading. And I never wore glasses until about 12 months ago, and then I started wearing them a bit more often. And recently I've had to wear them to read my phone. Even my phone at arm's length I can't read anymore. And interestingly this morning, I was reading some stuff on Facebook and I thought, you know, I can read the phone from here. And I've not been able to do that for months. You know, I can read it, it's quite clear. It starts to get a bit blurry there, but I can still kind of make it out. I've not been able to do that for such a long time. I'm going to Google this next and just see whether that's anything to do potentially with the a benefit of the fast. But so far 57 hours in, feeling good. And another thing that's dropped off this morning, which was probably there yesterday, was you know, it's amazing how many times you intuitively think, oh, I'll go to the fridge, I'll get some food. I think a lot of the times we eat out of habit or boredom. I'm maybe seeing that's becoming clearer as I go into the fast. So this is a check-in of day 3's morning. And so far everything's really good. I can't say if any adverse conditions I've felt. Dizziness a couple of times when I've stood up I felt a little bit lightheaded, but nothing major, and nothing really out of the ordinary. That happens quite a bit when I'm eating. So yeah, 57 hours in, feeling good. So it's day 3. This is the final check-in because my fast has now been broken. It's actually 7:30 as I'm recording this. It's 7:30 on the Sunday. I was aiming to do 3 days, which was going to be 72 hours. But in the end I decided to cut that slightly short. And for no reason, well, I'll give you the reason why I decided to cut it short. I had a great day today, didn't feel hungry. But I was mindful that if I stopped my fast and broke my fast this evening at 8:30, I'm normally asleep for 9. And I thought I didn't want to have a meal before I went to sleep. So I thought, do you know what? I got to sort of 3 o'clock this afternoon and thought I'm gonna call it now. You know, 4 hours less than it should be. But I'm kind of comfortable with that. I'm comfortable I could have done the full 3 days if I'd wanted to. But I was very mindful that I didn't want any kind of issues with my sleep because I'd eaten a heavy meal. And I felt I'd got out of it what I wanted to get out of this little experiment. The thing for me was it's not been as difficult as I thought it would be in some ways, and it has brought for me a lot of things which are quite interesting, especially around how much time we spend each day preparing food or thinking about food. I spend a lot more time thinking about food and preparing food than I thought I did. So when you take that out of your schedule because you're only drinking water, it's amazing how much more time you have. I'm also as well, what I've noticed is how many times when we don't, maybe you'll get this, sometimes when you don't feel great and you want to lift, we go and have something to eat. Comfort eating, I think they call it. And I found myself over the weekend having a couple of moments where I could have done some comfort eating, just feel a little bit kind of, you know, I just don't feel great. Doing some work and you want just bouncing from it and thinking, oh, this is when I would normally go and eat some rubbish. So I did, I'm going to say 68 hours, I think 68 is accurate. Between 66 and 68, because on reflection I'm not exactly sure when my last meal was on Thursday, because I thought it was 8:30, but then looking back I think it can't have been 8:30, so I was asleep by then according to my Garmin, so it might have been 6:30. And sometimes what happens, you see, is I see the number 8, like you know, it's 24-hour clock, 18, and I read it as 8 o'clock. I know. Anyway, I felt happy with the fast. No real negative things to say about it at all, only beneficial things. I do feel good, I do feel focused. I'll tell you now, I broke my fast with a small piece of chicken and some rice. It was the tastiest thing I've tasted for a long time. If you want a new appreciation for food and taste, have a bit of a fast, and all of a sudden, like I say, my taste buds, wow, when I put that chicken in my mouth, it was like an angel dancing on my tongue. So no real negative side effects. I didn't have the nausea and headaches that some people talk about, but I had been eating okay. My diet's not that bad, and even if it has been bad for a few days last week, maybe that's why. Maybe I didn't have that much impurity in my system to come out, but I drank plenty of water, I got plenty of rest, I took it easy on myself, I trained and I felt strong enough, and I can't say enough about this right now, because for me, I think it's a really good way to reset your system. And the big thing, and I'll see how this goes over the next few days, I just feel I'm thinking clearer. and I don't feel at all anxious. And I do get anxious occasionally, you know, when I'm doing some work, it's not going right, or I'm thinking about something in the future, I can get a little bit anxious. I've been thinking about the future, I've been doing work, but every time a problem came up, or I start where I would have normally thought I'd have worried about that, I just go into this mode of, yeah, we need to sort that out, what do we need to do? I become more effective. And I'm also mindful that I'm talking a bit quick because I am excited. I feel a bit higher, to be honest. Maybe that was the food I had, but you know, that was a couple of hours ago. I just feel good, basically. So I think it's something that I will certainly be doing again. In my own mind, I'm thinking I could do this once a month, a 3-day fast once a month. Maybe I could do a 24-hour fast once a week. And then maybe once a quarter, or maybe twice a year, I could do a 7-day fast. Because now I've done the 3 days, I am interested to know what the benefits would feel like personally if I did a 7-day fast. Now, you know, it's a long time, but quite honestly, what's amazed me about this fast is after day 1, when I felt hungry about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that was the last time I had any really serious hunger pans. The rest of the time, it wasn't really hungry. It was more about, oh, is it dinner time now? Is it lunchtime now? It was more habitual, as though I'm reaching for the fridge or reaching for something to eat out of habit. I had no real hunger pans. And when I did eat my meal tonight, I really enjoyed it. It didn't have a lot, but I felt it was really nice. And crucially, after I'd finished it, I had no cravings for sweet stuff, which is what normally happens. Normally I have a meal, straight away I want something sweet. Not tonight. So I'm really interested that might have reset my kind of slight reliance sometimes on chocolate and biscuits. So it's been a good experience. I will definitely do it again, and I think if anybody's serious about resetting the system, maybe getting some more mental clarity and reducing some anxiety, as well as cleansing your body, because I've also lost about 5 pounds, which is a significant amount of weight. It's all water weight, it's not fat is that, but it's certainly, I feel like my body feels fresher and cleaner. It just feels that way. If you're interested in sort of having those kind of experiences, I would Google some doctor who explains this. There's a load of them on YouTube explain exactly how to do the fast, what you can do, what you can't do, and explain who should do it and who shouldn't do it. And I'd give it a go, because like I say, I think it could be a winner, and it's dead simple, and it couldn't be easier, because you know there's not a choice when you wake up in the morning to what you're going to do that day regarding what you consume. Just water. It makes it very, very simple indeed. Not as much washing up either. So there you go. I'm going to put all these videos together and mash them together and see how they all sound. But great experience. If you want to know any more about it, get involved. You can contact me, garethboots.com. Go on there if you've got any questions, or you want to find out some of the resources I used for this and where I got my information from. But give it a go. Good experiment, pleased with results, and time for some sleep, I think. So I've got another check-in. I thought I'd finish the check-ins because I finished the fast yesterday, but I thought what I would do is do another short check-in the day after. So it's 7:15 in the morning on day 4. I wasn't fasting. I broke my 3-day fast yesterday. So last night, when I'd eaten my food, I went to bed, and I wanted to share this because I think this is quite important if you've been looking at this video. I had the best night's sleep last night I've had for a long time. I had a deep, peaceful, beautiful sleep and woke up this morning feeling phenomenal. And now I haven't slept like that for a long time, so I can only put that down to the fast. I woke up this morning, I don't feel hungry. My intention today is not to go crazy and go back to my old eating habits. Today I'm just going to fuel myself with simple fruit, veg and a small amount of protein today, and only as and when I start to feel a little bit hungry. I'm continuing to drink lots of water. I think that's something I'm taking from the fast going forward, is to drink more water on a daily basis. I do feel better hydrated. But I just wanted to share this because I thought maybe this is something that I didn't appreciate it till this morning. What a phenomenal sleep. I was sleeping quite badly recently, and through the fast only about 5 hours a night, but last night I went to bed at about 9 o'clock and I woke up this morning at 5:30. That's 8.5 hours, and it was just beautiful sleep. I woke up happy, I woke up peaceful, I feel very level in my emotions. I just feel good. So I thought I'd do that as a final and just add that to the end of this little video montage, because I think it's important that not only you see what I went through and talk about it as I was going through it, but also I wanted to give you that experience of what you might feel like the day after, and so far I feel great. So this is definitely the last check-in, and I do hope that, you know, through watching this little thing I put together, it might encourage you to have at least a look at water fasting, because I can't speak high enough about my experience of it, and certainly that was the case last night. Now this morning waking up, my experience of it and I'm speaking even more highly of it now because, wow, I didn't expect that sleep and to feel the way I do this morning. Phenomenal. Right, take care, see you later.